back. It's time for Legal Live. With us is Tom Winslow from Goldfinch Winslow. Thank you for joining us. All right, so today's topic involves a friend of mine who, at the time, was engaged. Okay. Her and her fiance bought a house together. Both of their names are on the deed to the house. They are no longer engaged.
But never married.
Never married.
All right.
So now comes a time where you have separation. What do you do about that? Who gets the rights to the house?
Yes,
what about refinancing? Any of those things?
You know, obviously we have a lot of these situations when your people are married, you go through family court, you decide how to split up equity and to split up property. This situation, you don't have that marriage, so you don't have that family court concept. So the way you look at the situation is just purely as a property claim or a contract claim. And you will go through the civil court or the master in equity to determine who invested what money if an agreement can't be brought together. And so if they both put money down, they both probably have interest in it. With both names on the title, they clearly have interest in it. And as such, they're both entitled to some of that money. The biggest question sometimes comes in when someone has put down money on a piece of property, but because of their credit or another reason, they're not on the title.
Right.
And so the person on the title says, it's my house, even though they haven't invested anything in it. And then you got this fight of equity versus law that needs to be sorted out through the civil process, through the equity process, and determined on a property rights basis.
Yeah, and I think unfortunately we have more cases of this just kind of because of COVID. People cohabitated, weren't able to leave for a while. Things started to happen. You don't like the person as much, and then you kind of separate. Even in this case, there's an issue. They have a dog. They got the dog together. Now they're separated. Can you also take somebody to court to figure out, is this dog mine? Or do people do like child sharing? Do you get them on the weekends?
Not only can you, but I have taken people to court over animals. Now, an animal is a piece of property in South Carolina.
Okay.
So it's just like a house or a car or anything else. So there's actually ownership value in that animal, and there's value to that animal. And so the dog, let's say it's worth $1,000, is $500 between the two owners, unless someone can prove they have a higher interest in the animal than the other. And you can take someone to court for the animal. Is it always worthwhile because of the value of it? Maybe not necessarily, but because of the sentimental value of it.
Sure.
People do, and they work out sharing custody agreements for their animals just like they do with children, and that's always the best thing, try to sort it out between yourselves, or just don't get into that kind of situation and understand whose item or property it is.
Yeah, or make sure if you have a pet you love, make sure you share more pictures of it on Instagram than the other person.
That is sometimes evidence of your love with it.
Yeah, you might get that.
Kind of Solomon's baby concept.
That's right. So if you have some sort of an issue, maybe unfortunately maybe you've split and you've got some sort of property dispute or whatnot, how do people get in contact with you guys?
Sure, you guys can just reach right out to us, 843-357-9301, goldfinchwinslow.com.